you know, kind of making them a little more noble. Not sure what the threshold is, but the threshold for this Zerg concept is definitely a lot clearer, right? When are Zerg not Zerg? Well, when they're not scary, you know, when they're not animals. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, and I think it's safe to say on that topic, on the Starcraft part of your question, I've actually been really surprised that people have been jumping to this conclusion that we were saying that the Zerg were, you know, just misunderstood,
right,
and would turn out to be these great noble beings. I can understand that there's some fear in the community that might be the case, and pretty soon you'll see Zerg, you know, weaving baskets and carrying flowers around. That's not going to happen. The Zerg, as Chris said, are absolutely the worst thing that can happen to your day. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in their backstory. It's complicated. It will all be revealed, but have no fear that they will turn out to be misunderstood. And as to the Kerrigan part, I also, right. I mean, I really think that. I see the parallel that you're kind of talking about, but I don't really think it applies, because Thrall was a character who underwent, you know, sort of an enlightenment and sort of understood his place in the world better. Kerrigan, well, the Queen of Blades was an evil, terrifying creature. Sarah Kerrigan was not. I mean, Sarah Kerrigan is scary. She's an assassin, right? But I don't see it as one character that's just kind of, you know, becoming nicer.
And even on that point, you had some really good parts of your question, specifically to is justice possible, right? Justice, or what we would presume justice is for her, and a potential redemption, right? Are you neutering a gritty universe, right, and trying to overtly chase a redemption story? It's a really good point, and it's a really good question. How the hell do I answer it without giving away where we're going?
Trust us.
It is a gritty universe, and on a long enough timeline, there's so much more going on behind the curtain. It's like Wings of Liberty, like it barely scratches, like, the truth, you know, of kind of what's occurring. So you talk about justice for her. I don't know. It's exactly what we're chasing, you know, in terms of the Heart of the Swarm storyline. So be patient with us. Hopefully we will answer all of this directly through the gameplay or through the storyline.
Yeah, I think bad things happen to bad people in StarCraft, but bad things happen to good people too. Right. So
seemingly more often. You know?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Things just to be more real and
right.
gritty, where bad things
right.
just corrupt bad people or good people even too.
Right.
But thanks.
Yeah.
Hey guys, pleasure to be here. Okay, Star Wars. Chris, you were talking about what makes a geek. Brought up Star Wars. A lot of people say that Star Wars is essentially a Western in a sci-fi universe, very much the same way as StarCraft. Consider Tychus Finley. I can't help but every time I see Tychus Finley in one of the cutscenes and the dialogue, I think of Vin Diesel in Pitch Black. Just a gritty anti-hero. Same with Jim Raynor. You mentioned earlier about Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. I understand the creative process. You talked about it earlier on how Tychus's character was made. I'm curious more about the outside influences that came in.
Oh, well, clearly we just sat down with the Firefly box set and, you know, just took copious notes. The whole Western/Southern thematic woven through StarCraft was totally there in the first one that came out long before Firefly. Unfortunately, it kind of bent a little more towards the comical, like, I love you, Sarge, you know, all that stuff. But definitely in the concept art we were doing at the time, it was something that I really wanted to have in the foreground. And at the time, you know, we were a little split on how far to chase that kind of Western/Southern theme. So this time around, yeah, there was no dissension. You know, we just wanted to embrace it fully. If I could have put a cowboy hat on Raynor in every scene, I would have done so, right? That's who that guy is. But you know, it's funny, when we first started, this is maybe 8 years ago, 7 years ago, can't tell time anymore at all. When we first started talking about StarCraft 2, like, guys, we should start seriously thinking about developing this product after all these years. The first image in my head was this guy sitting in a bar with a bottle of whiskey and a cowboy hat on his head, fretting over a girl. You know what I mean? Like, it's just innately Western. You know, it's just in its DNA, I guess. I don't know if that answered your question or not, brother.
No, it was perfect, because I was thinking of Firefly as well, so hopefully we get to see a StarCraft movie sometime.
Right. You know, I was kidding about watching the Firefly box set, right? As a matter of fact, I stayed away from that damn thing because I knew it was going to get us in trouble.
Well, let's hope for a second season, at least.
Huh? He's doing a second season?
I said let's hope for one.
Oh, yeah, that would be epic.
Thanks. Thank you.
Hey guys, again, great game, fantastic. I wanted to ask about, you were mentioning the next book is going to continue to explore the Tychus and Raynor relationship, but one of my favorite secondary characters, of course, is Matt Horner, and his sort of noble, he's kind of the heart and soul of the idealistic crusader.
Right.
And I'm wondering, first of all, because I love the secondary character of Mira Han, are we ever going to get to hear about that story? And second of all, are we ever going to get some stories about Raynor and Horner's adventures that we didn't really see because Tychus was kind of taken over?
Right.
I would so love to explore the Mirahan, Matt Horner situation.
How ironic.
Absolutely, Matthew. So yeah, I mean, you know, right now our focus is all on the expansion. You know, or I should say mine is. I know that you're involved with pretty much everything.
Wow.
But that is, I think, a very rich vein that we would definitely like to explore.
Totally.
Hello? In Wings of Liberty, you had Raynor go around the Hyperion. He was able to talk to all the other characters. He was able to flesh out his universe. Now, I'm assuming you're using the same play style. So in Legacy of the Void, you'll have Zeratul. He'll be talking to all these Protoss characters in order to enhance that. But with Kerrigan and Heart of the Swarm, who does she talk to? Is there going to be infested Terrans? Are the Queens sentient? What's going to be there to make her story more interesting?
That is an excellent question, which I really can't answer. I'm sorry. Did you have any Wings of Liberty questions?
A small one. In choosing to save the colonists, Raynor is forced to